Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you watch part 1 and part 2 of my video series, you would have seen obviously how to get pre-approved for a car, the next steps of searching for your car, and now we can talk about, a little bit more in depth of visiting your dealership, going there, picking out your car, learning how to read the window sticker, because there are different things about those, and then going a little bit to negotiation. And the final step is the finance manager's office. All right, so I'm gonna cover all of these steps, and I'm gonna touch a little bit also about when and when you cannot negotiate. So keep watching, guys. All right, so when you're found your car dealership, you go in and you're gonna see a window sticker. Window sticker is going to tell you the make of the car. It's going to tell you the options that the car has. It's going to tell you basically what is standard, the engine that is equipped with, how much horsepower, and usually you'll see numbers of the fuel mileage. And usually the bottom right is going to indicate your MSRP, or what they call this manufacturer's suggested retail price. All right, this sticker comes from the manufacturer. This is like, okay, this is what we built the car and what we set the price at. Now, individual dealerships can do certain markups on high demand cars. Or, something you gotta watch out for, sometimes dealerships will then add on options you didn't select, thus then putting the cost on the customer who is then gonna purchase this car. So you have to learn to read those things before you even can think about trying to negotiate, because you gotta know what the total cost of the price of the car, the total cost of the car. The next thing is when you go into the dealership, I like to know exactly what are the total fees that they charge. So before you begin negotiations, you have to know, okay, you got the price of the car, you know what the car costs. Now you need to know what other fees are there associated with that. All right, there are fees you cannot get around, you get to pay. So number one, tax, title, license. I mean, that's a given. Every car you go, you're going to do it. You're going to pay that. Either you're going to pay at the top or the bottom end, meaning like you're going to get paying it before you leave dealership, or you buy a car out of state. Usually some cars, some dealers will give you a tax exemption form, which then they'll collect taxes in your state once you register the car. Also, you got to know exactly, okay, is there any documentation fees? Is there any preparation fees that usually are associated with that? Because some dealers do charge those fees, and those fees can range anywhere from $200 to $800, and that's mostly a backdoor way of dealership getting profit. It's a little aggravating. You can kind of negotiate that. I've always liked to know exactly what up front before you make an offer, because those fees come back around the other way and bite you. So knowing the fees up front can help with negotiations in the future, because that way there's no other hidden fees that can pop up at the final signing. Right, so now you know the price of the car, now you know the fees, you know your taxes. Now you can kind of build an out the door price. All right, so there's calculators online you can use, you can build it in, you can add in there. I like to use, I have this app called a car payment calculator. That way I can just see everything. I add my price in, I get my down payment in, I can add my finance, so my finance in the car, I can see exactly my interest rate and put that in there. And usually I'm within pennies of what the dealer's quoted me after my negotiations. You have to decide if there's any room for negotiation. So there are certain cars you can negotiate on. The best things you can negotiate, or the best new cars, are pretty easy. Mainly because there's more competition. Most dealerships have the same car. Even within, 15-mile range, might say 3 dealerships might have that same car sitting on their lot. So you'll see that those dealerships will then have the same car sitting on their lot. And like I said, if you don't buy from them, they know you can go somewhere else and buy that car and maybe get a better deal. All right, now I discussed this how to do this in part 2 of my series of going to Edmunds.com preferably. There's other sites you can use, such as TrueCar. I particularly don't like TrueCar or some of those car buying sites, such as like, I think even my bank offers a car buying service which is powered by TrueCar. And the reason why, TrueCar can seem like it's a really good deal, but dealers have caught on to it. So TrueCar is basically a pre-negotiation. It's like, okay, they went and did the work for you. They've already kind of said, okay, this is what people are paying for the car, no negotiation. You can pretty much see, okay, here's MSRP, say for example, $28,000, and now here is what people are paying for, $25,000. TrueCar says, okay, you're gonna pay $25,000 for this car. You send an inquiry in to dealership responds back, says, hey, yeah, we have the car, $25,000. But what it is not really saying you're guaranteed that price, you're guaranteed savings. Because TrueCar says, okay, you're guaranteed a savings of $1,500, $2,000, depending on the car. And dealership says, okay, yeah, we have that car. But now, remember we talked about the extras in the beginning, how dealerships can add on those accessories. So what dealers are doing now, they're adding on all those accessories. Now you can go look at that $25,000 car, but now that car has $2,000 worth of options. And now you're having to overpay for these accessories, these options that you didn't want. And they only say, well, we have that car in stock, you built that on TrueCar, but we can give you that savings. We're going to guarantee you the savings off. But you can end up with a car that you might have roof racks installed and running boards, and you didn't want those things. And now you have to pay for those things, those accessories, which are sometimes be overpriced, and you're building that into your loan, which is, to me, is not a savings. If there's only a savings, if you capitalize that, if it's that car you spec'd out on that website, and then that car is sitting there, and then that actual savings is off. All right, so then you have CarMax. CarMax, no negotiation. It's pretty much, it is what it is. Other dealers, online dealers only, such as Carvana is a big one, nationwide. No set dealership, is just everything's online. They have several pictures there for you to look at. You cannot even, I don't think there's any way you can negotiate. Usually you just kind of agree to buy the car. The car is then shipped to you, usually free of charge. I think it's built into the price. And then, or you can pick up the car at one of their locations and they give you like a coin, and it's kind of a novelty of picking up like a gumball, and the car comes out to the machine. Other online dealers, Shift, Vroom, Tread. I think Shift and Tread are more West Coast based. I think Vroom is another one that's kind of online. Those dealers aren't going to be able to negotiate. You're kind of like you're on your own. I believe Tread is kind of like a private sale, more likely. Maybe a little bit of wiggle room, not sure. But you got to be aware that those type of online places are going to, it's not no haggle type of style. It's just kind of like a low pressure, type. Also, other dealers, Sonic Automotive. If you look at online and you see a dealership is owned by a Sonic Automotive company, well, they do the CarMax buying experience, which is a no haggle policy. You can try to make an offer, but most likely they're not going to accept an offer because that's something they don't do. Their sales consultants are paid, I want to say, not commission. They're just kind of paid basically either you buy a car or not. So that creates a low pressure buying experience. All right, so now I've kind of discussed a little bit about the new cars, how to do it. When you're doing it, I guess I recommend just going to Edmunds, submitting an inquiry, getting emails back, responding back to Internet Manager, usually he can spit out his best price. He's not going to play a game. It's usually be his bottom line price. You can compare other dealerships' bottom line price. You can decide which dealership to go with. If you see two prices that are same, well, deciding factor could be, okay, well, I have two cars, same car, two dealerships. Go dealership that's closer to you. Which dealership are you going to service your car to? That could be my deciding factor. Next thing, used cars. Used cars, you cannot, there's very, very little wiggle room with used cars, because what the technology is this today with people searching on the internet, the dealerships have to do something to capture someone's attention. All right. if you see a good price, that's usually the first step of making contact with that dealership. If a dealership has a high price, you're not going to respond. So they usually list their low price there online to hopefully bring you in. Now they're kind of like at that bottom line point. There isn't really that much negotiation. There's other ways you can find it, but most likely they kind of price it really competitive. And the days of going into the dealership and saying, I want to probably get maybe $5,000 off the top of the price of the car, or going back and forth and playing that game, are gone. Now some dealers will mark up sometimes and attempt to go down, even on new cars. That's not really giving you a deal. It may make you feel better in your head that you're getting a good deal, but if you research and you see equivalent cars, and you've read on, like I said, Car Gurus is a good way. Even if you don't find a car on Car Gurus, you can take the VIN number from a different website and then run it through Car Gurus, and they'll tell you if it's a good deal or not. It tells you the market value, and if it's a good deal, then there's really no reason to figure out to negotiate. If the car is not described accurately, as opposed to, like I said, if it's in clean or good condition, and you get there, the car is in the condition that you as advertised, okay, now you can sit down. Remember I said get the fees and stuff. Now you can sit down and know exactly where to go. So now you can make your offer out the door based upon the condition. So if the car's bald tires, well, look at the cost of tires. That's could be like $1,000 to replace tires. So the car has several dents in it. That could be condition. Now the car is priced reduced because of that. Well, that you can't really negotiate that. But you can also look at the whole picture and decide where you want to go. So for me, it's like, okay, if the car's overall clean, interior is clean, but I just need to put tires on it. Well, then I'll go to the dealership and say, okay, you put tires on it, or I need somebody off the top of the price of the car. And they'll say, okay, well, what are you looking for? So sometimes you can just sit there and tell them what you want right then and there, and they'll do it. But they might come at the back door and tack on extra fees in the end, which is not saving any money. It's just tricking you. So that's why I said in the beginning, know the fees. Knowing what they charge up front, total upfront cost out the door. Okay, this car, after taxes, if the car is originally $28,000, after taxes, license and fees, I'm at $30,000. Now, when you make your offer, you say, okay, with the tires and stuff I put into this car, I want to make an offer of $29,000 out the door. Always say out the door, because now you're adding in, you're saying this is including all your fees, total cost, no extras. Now what happens, they can either accept it or decline it. And sometimes they'll try to write it out for you. They'll try to ask you for trading in a car. This is where I leave out the trade-in. The trade-in can just throw a whole wrench in the negotiation process. Just leave it out altogether. No, you're not trading in a car, and I'm going to explain that later. So they can either accept or decline. And usually what happens is they'll say, okay, if we can do this price, would you buy the car today? And then you're going to say, oh, yes, of course. And it's kind of a weird question, but it's a question they want to see how serious you are buying that car, or if you're just there to play games. And once they come back, he'll usually have the conversation with the manager. He disappeared for a while. I take the time and I leave. I don't sit at the desk. I wait. I look around. I want to show them that I'm not going to sit here all day at the chair, hopefully even pray that you give me the car for the price you want. I'm going to look around. And you call me back when you're ready, because I'm not going to sit here and wait. Because now they're thinking, oh crap, he's getting ready to leave. Let's hopefully bring him back in. Maybe we'll do the price. Just something, if they're going to play my game with me, I'm going to play my game with them. So they come back and they say, okay, either they're going to take your offer or they counter back your offer. And like I said, each car is different. So it's hard to say, okay, take it or leave it. You have to decide. And like I said, do your prior research to know. But that's kind of just what you can offer on a used car. The next step is when you're going into trade-ins. No, I said leave it out because sometimes a dealership can give you the price you want. Say, for example, they drop that price by $1,000, give you the $29,000 out the door price, but they say, okay, but now your trade-in, even though technically it's worth $7,000, they're gonna take that $1,000 off the price of that car and give you $6,000 for your trade-in. So they're gonna make that money up the other side. So it's an up and down game. Or they can give you the full amount for your trade-in, but not reduce the price of the car selling. And I like to, before I even go in the dealership, if I'm going to trade in a car, get a quote from, a lot of dealers now can do a no obligation to buy, but offer for your car, such as CarMax. They give you appraisals. If you go online to Auto Trader or Cars.com, they usually do a Kelly Blue Book like car buying. So you take a car in, they do this like a little mini inspection, run the OD2, make sure there's no hidden codes, and look at the overall condition of the car and give you an offer. Usually it's trade-in offer, somewhere between good and fair, but I mean, you have something on paper to know if you're gonna get lowballed or not. So have that ready to go. So if I already know, okay, well, I can get $7,000 for my trade-in by going to dealership A, when dealership B offers me less, but they still would give me the price of the car. I say, you know what, I'm not trading my car in. Let's just go ahead and do this deal with this car. I'll work with trading later. Then you can take the car to the dealership B and then, or A, and then jump the car there. All right, so that's typically how you deal with that aspect. Now it gets a little bit more complicated because used cars, especially, say for example, where you're looking at a Chevy Suburban and you want the LT model, and then you see several of them around and you're just trying to decide which one's in better condition. You want four-wheel drive, okay. Each time you click an option, you're making this car a little bit more rare. And like I said, LT four-wheel drive is not completely out of ordinary, but a dealer knows if you don't buy that car from them, someone else is going to come in and buy that car. Someone else is going to come in and want it. So let's say you want the LTZ version of this Suburban. Well, now it's got the leather, it's got the trailering package with the trailer brake controller, it's got all this other stuff, and now there's only one within like a 200-mile radius of this black or this white color that you want it, with these particular just upgraded rims. It makes it very hard for you to say, I want to get money out the top of the price of the car if it's already a good price listed. So they can say no. They can say, no, we've got other calls on this car. We got people, they know have a lot of interest on it. They can decline your offer, and you can walk out the door. And then guess what? Next day, the car's gonna be sold. Saturday seemed like if you don't buy a car by Saturday, it seems like it's gone because usually people come in the weekend and they'll just buy it. So if there's a rare car, rare options, it's gonna go. Honda Civic Type R. When they were new, dealerships could keep on them a lot, and they were marking them up. The car was listed at $35,000, and I think now, still today, I think dealers are still listing that car at like $40,000. They're marking them up $45,000. I think they want to say $45,000 for a Civic, which is ridiculous, but people are paying for it. There's high demand for it. People want it. So if they can mark up $10,000, they can do it. You may be able to negotiate off that markup, but you're more likely going to still pay more than what's on the sticker. And it makes a difficult process. Usually you just wait till a hype dies down in the car. Like, there's the new Corvette coming out soon. Everybody's ordering it, everybody's pre-ordering these cars. So the chances of you trying to go to dealership and finding this Corvette for sale at a dealer is going to be very slim. Now, if there's one that sits there, it's one backed out of a deal, well, I highly doubt that you're going to end up paying sticker. You're going to pay more because there's going to be a high demand for that car, and the dealer knows that. He can mark up the price. So this Corvette may end up going for more money. Let's say you've already found the car and you agreed on a price, and it seems like, I don't know why, but with your sales consultant, it seems like once you agreed on a price, the final price is usually a handshake. It's like that seals the deal. So they always want to extend a hand out. You shake your hand, okay. They're excited. They take the key to someone else, get the car cleaned up for you, and they say, okay, have the car out back, and Now you're excited. You're ready to go. They say, okay, it'll just be a moment. You're going to sit there with our finance manager. He's going to sign and get paperwork all prepared for you. Now you're waiting for this moment. You're going outside, you take a picture of the car, you're posting on Facebook, you're telling everybody about your new car, and just giving little teasers, but just taking a picture of the key, the things that people do. And now your mind is your guard is coming down, which is now the worst possible time. Keep that guard up, because this is the most important part. When you go in this office, you're going to be hit with a lot of paperwork. Depending on some dealers, some dealers are maybe digital signed, but there's going to be at least maybe 5 or 6 forms you're going to be signing, reading over. Number one is a buyer's order. This is very important. Remember I told you about the fees? You guys got to look at this. Make sure the fees there are no hidden fees that are coming out at you. Ask questions and look at the total price is what you agreed on out the door. So long as that price is correct, and as you look at the sale price of the vehicle and look at the taxes and see the fees, go ahead and sign. If you're not, ask a question. Hey, why is this higher? Sometimes it may be an error, and sometimes it may be a communication error between the sales consultant and the finance manager. And they may not be intentionally trying to rip you off. It just means that if you negotiated this doc fee from, they said, okay, it's not $800 anymore. We'll do $500 to save you some money or something like that, and it didn't get relayed over to the finance manager. Well, now he may not even know. So ask the questions. Don't be afraid to feel pressured like you have to sign right then and there. Then there's going to be other paperwork you sign, like the condition disclosure saying that, okay, you are agreeing that this car is being sold without a warranty, if it's applicable. You sign that and different things like that. So then comes a sheet where he says, okay, here is for an extra $20 per month. Think about $20 extra per month is not a whole lot of money. These days $20 can't get you a full tank of gas. So you think $20 per month can get you this extra protection. You have kids, and they say, but it keeps the fabric from getting stained, and it protects the exterior. And you say, what, that would be good to have. And he says, it's good to protect your investment. You're paying a lot of money for this car, and you agree to it. So now, say for example, we agreed on that $29,000 car. And we'd say, okay, $20 extra per month, but then you spread it out over a period of 5-6 years, $2,000. So now our $29,000 car is now a $31,000 car. But it's not to stop here. He says, okay, now you're not putting any money down. Now there's gap insurance, and this is his case. Right now you leave dealership and the car gets totaled. He's going to say that this basically your bank is going to pay you the value of the car, which is going to be $29,000. And then you still on the hook for that are $2,000-$3,000 left. So you're adding on, he said, for an extra $10-$15 a month, you can have this gap insurance built into the price of your car. It's only like, because it could be anywhere from $5 to $10 a month. And what it is basically like, they're adding on, it can be anywhere from like $5 to $1,000 for gap insurance, so depending on what the dealership charges for it. These things can all be negotiated individually. So if you want those items, you can negotiate it, because the finance manager, he's going to get a commission based on these items he upsells you on. So even though it feels like he's looking out for your best interests, partially he is, but also partially he's trying to make some extra money. It's commission. What we do for commission, you're trying to hopefully sell something. So, and like I said, if you're excited, you just might agree to those things, and then before you know it, your payment has jumped up by $50 to $100 per month, and now you have overpriced. Now you're paying $35,000 for this car. That originally you had your budget, and now you kind of went over this. You get home and you look at the paperwork, and now your first payment, you're like, I got buyer's remorse. I shouldn't have done this. Why did I agree to this? Why did I agree to that? So you don't have to get those things. Those things will be negotiated separately. Those things will be added on separately. You don't have to get fabric protection there, or your clear coat protection through dealership. You can go any time later on to do that. Extended warranties, you don't have to do it right then and there. If the car is covered under factory warranty, most of the time you can extend the warranty right up until that warranty expires. That factory warranty expires. So the car's still covered. If it's a brand new car, you can keep that car for about, if it's got a 36,000 mile warranty, keep it to 35,000 miles, and then contact dealership and says, I want to add on factory warranty. I want to extend it out to 200,000. Or you can say, it's been a good car so far. You can save some money. and then you can pay that cash separately and still keep your payment down low. You're not financing that to your loan, because what happens is when you're upside down to your loan, it makes it harder to sell that car later, because now you've got a car that you've paid $35,000 for. It's only $29,000, and then if you want to trade it in 2 years later, the car is worth $20,000. But remember, you added on -5, which you probably could have been closer to that amount, but now you're still owing close to 30 for it, and you have $8,000 left, a balance that they're gonna tack on to the new car, plus whatever is left on taxes and fees, and it just becomes a cycle. And then you get to the situation to now you're in a car that you really don't like, and you're paying a lot of money for it, and you're stuck. You are really stuck, because you can't, at that point, you do it once, you cannot sell that car anymore. It's going to be like you roll over negative equity into your car. You might as well plan to keep that car until it's paid off, because there's no way you're going to be able to catch up unless you come up with a lot of money to pay down the balance to get yourself out of it, or their car gets somehow a total loss in an accident, and the gap insurance, if you did get the gap insurance, covers the cost and get you out of that loan. Don't try to total the car purposely, because they will come after you for that. But just be careful. So hopefully this helps you guys. I mean, I can go a lot more in depth on this. I might do a little more videos. I might do more videos on how to buy a car out of state. But if you enjoy this video, give it a like. Give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, just click down them twice. And I appreciate you guys watching. And subscribe if you like cars, you want to see more stuff. All right, guys, thank you.